as I turn off San Juan Avenue, heading towards my first kilometer. Hello. Some guy has a nail gun. This is roughly 1 kilometer from home, at the back of the majestic baseball diamond. Excuse me.
Average pace 7 minutes 11
Hello.
per kilometer. You're ahead of your target pace by 18 seconds per kilometer.
So this is the kilometer marking. This is the first kilometer of probably the most familiar escape route that I have while running. 10 o'clock, real time. I did start my chrono. Granted, it was a few seconds late, but this run, being my Sunday run, and my Sunday podcast, only needs to be 36 minutes, and I have planned it that way. It's all to do with most efficient use of my time. So the runkeeper lady will tell us every kilometer and every 10 minutes, no, every 5 minutes, that's right. We won't hear it too often, because this will be a short run as I head towards the woods off Robin Hood, crossing Douglas Creek for the first time. Turn left past the weir, and then right past the tree graveyard. Pretty soon I'll be running on a single track trail.
Average pace 7 minutes 2 seconds per kilometer. You're ahead of your target pace by 27 seconds per kilometer.
So that would have been 10 minutes from my start, and about 4 minutes into my recording. This is a nostalgia trip for all my regular listeners. You have been with me on this run many, many, many times. You have heard me trip. You have heard me talk to dog people. You have heard me take pictures of the little mushroom colony Douglas Creek West Side Trail. The East Side Trail is gravel all the way to Ash. Sunday brings the end of my week, and also the end of a very interesting and very entertaining week of podcast listening. Even Chris put out a short show. I think that will be the trend for the next decade. Will be short shows. This morning I shared the link to David Foss's 15-minute episode. He too tends to record shorter shows. Hello.
Morning.
Hello, frisky dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't want them jumping around too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Both those dogs are my size. And both of them were off leash. Recently off leash, I would say, by their friskiness. I still haven't recorded myself being bitten by a dog. The closest we got, I think, was one episode that I recorded with Derek, and I believe I still have it somewhere. Excuse me. Norma is still in the UK, having attended her aunt's funeral. She's coming back on Monday and will be arriving around midnight, I guess, Monday night. She's still not sure if she's going to arrange a ride or just get a taxi. Well, I mistimed that. Had I not slowed down, I would have been able to keep going right across. But the spacing on the cars was such that it wasn't quite enough time for the first guy to stop, especially as he saw me slowing down to stop. He carried on. Alright, so the next call out will be 2 kilometers.
Average pace 7 minutes 23 seconds per kilometer. You're ahead of your target pace by 6 seconds per kilometer.
Just approaching the brick washrooms at Mount Douglas parking lot. There will be a 15-minute call out very soon. It's interesting what they've done with the parking lot here. They've taken out an old wooden barrier between the cars and the park and put low maintenance concrete blocks in front of each parking stall. I believe they did this for two reasons. One, because of the low maintenance and not having to replace a rotted wooden fence. And two, because this way everybody, when they get out of their car, has direct access to the park and doesn't all have to follow some pre-designed route to get into the park, therefore eliminating too much tracking on the same path. Alright, I'm going to stop talking while we cross the street. I'll explain to you a phenomenon when we cross the road. So, as I chase in a futile attempt to keep up with somebody, a young lady is disappearing in the distance. I will explain this anomaly with the iSmooth Run, or the Runkeeper, or whatever talking app you might be using. I don't know if you've noticed, but occasionally, like just then, it missed the 15-minute update because it was probably in the same 10-second span of the previous message, which was about the 2 kilometers. And as I'm running about 7.5 kilometers, that would mean that the 2 messages would have been on top of each other.
Hey, Carlos.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. That was Walter. Walter Cantwell. I believe he's recently retired as a member of the Canadian military. He was in the Navy for most, if not all, his adult career. And he studied pharmacy through the military education programs. And I believe if he has retired from the military, he might well still be in the pharmacy business.
Average pace 7 minutes 29 seconds per kilometer. You're right on your target pace.
Yeah, so that would explain why the 15-minute disappeared, because it was right at the same moment as the 2 kilometer. So that would have been the 20 minutes. Hello. Jogger coming through. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Couple of dads with 5 kids between them. Maybe 4. I'm now running back towards my house along the west side once again, but this time of Cordova Bay Road. I made a preemptive video of this particular run, which you're welcome to follow along to. Mind you, the video is 36 times shorter than this rendition of audio. As I cross Churchill Drive. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm half expecting a show from Jim today.
Average pace 7 minutes 31 seconds per kilometer. You're right on your target pace.
Close. Correct. 7:31, 7:29. Right on my pace. And I have done all the hiking that I intend to do today. Bar one short section that I will stop for long enough to video, which will begin around about now. I just stopped the video by mistake, not the video, the audio by mistake as I was fumbling for my camera. Today I'm going to run the video all the way home, which will be about 15 minutes more, and I'm using the lowest video quality to see if that is usable as I adjust myself for this next little technical feat. I have to tuck the camera into my pouch in such a way that I can expose the lens to the world. Okay, the gloves come off. Too much fumbling around. And the other glove comes off. Okay, now I'm getting there. Hello.
Average pace 7 minutes 41 seconds per kilometer. You're behind your target pace by 12 seconds per kilometer.
Okay. That should be working now. So that little operation probably took me half a minute, which explains why I'm behind my pace. But I should be able to make that up on the last section, which is basically flat sidewalk. Well, there's the girl I was trying to catch. Hello. She was stretching. You probably saw that. So the camera is mounted on its side with the wider section inside my glasses case, which is clipped to the inside of my recording pouch, which is only holding my phone and my camera. Hi.
Hi, come.
I know this old guy. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I didn't want to startle you.
Hello.
There you go. Stay safe. Old Chinese man. I'm going around to the left. Right here. Hello. This is where I exit at the park. I never run down here anymore because it could be icy or slippery from all these leaves. One of my friends slipped and fell on his ass bone right there. As I come out into the brilliant sunlight on Harvest Lane, heading down towards San Juan once again. I will get another reminder, which will be maybe the 4 kilometer or the half hour. There might be some overlap here. Once again. So there'll be some non-specific update pretty soon. This neighborhood, what didn't exist when I first moved into Gordon Head, this was just an orchard, hence the name Harvest Lane. Hello. Orchard Park on Harvest Lane. I know from this run, having done it so many times, that 1 kilometer from home is where that distant person is walking on the sidewalk. If you can see that, that's pretty good for my camera on its lowest quality setting. I think it's on 1.
Average pace 7 minutes 37 seconds per kilometer. Behind your target pace by 7 seconds per kilometer.
Gotcha. So that would be the 30 minute. Yeah, the 30
Average
minute.
pace 7 minutes 35 seconds per kilometer. You're behind your target pace by 4 seconds
Yeah,
per
you see, I'm
kilometer.
making it up in leaps and bounds. I very seldom push the button here. Hello. Because the traffic is usually so sparse that it's never an issue. But there definitely is more driving around going on these days. Festive purchasing gone wild. Hi.
Hello.
It's a Korean man. Korean. we get pretty good at identifying the characteristics. We have Koreans, Japanese, and Chinese. The first people were the Chinese. But we do have quite a few Korean grandparents now. So I just passed the 1 kilometer from home. This is where I made the loop, where I started my loop. Over here, to my left, is the minimalist house. I'll just give it a quick scan for you. You'll see why I call it the minimalist house. This house has been like that for 15 years to our knowledge. He has stripped everything that's strippable. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
But he's still living there. It's amazing. I have seen him reading his newspaper by the light from the window. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any electricity in there. He's taken everything out. Let me check on this recording. 26 means I can take this all the way home. And some. So I will walk from the next pace reminder, whenever that happens, to the end. Pretty sure I have made up my 5 seconds of lag. Hi. Chinese. Talking about nationalities, we're just coming up to the house of a Portuguese family. The one with the big bush outside. I bought my fig tree off this man. He has fig trees all the way down the side of his property over there behind the big hedge. Well, his son was a running friend of mine, and he and I...
Average pace, 7 minutes, 28 seconds per kilometer. You're right on your target pace.
That's nice. He and I used to duke it out a fair bit in the old days. He is in the landscape gardening business. His father passed away about 3 years ago now. And his son sold the house about 2 years ago. Bill and Natasha should be somewhere. I think that's Bill. No, somebody else. I'm not sure if that's Finnegan, the dog. I'll soon find out. Nope. Wrong again. Hello. Hi. I was supposed to be walking, wasn't I? About 30 minutes recorded. So the last little bit will be my cool down walk. Because I want to give you what I promised. A 36-minute show. I guess it just means that I ran a little faster. My entire run should have been 5 7s, 35, 37 and a half. Yeah, well, I probably started the recording around the 800 meters from home, which would have been about 5 minutes in. Plus, I'm running a little faster than I anticipated, which is not bad.
Average pace 7 minutes 28 seconds per kilometer. You're right on your target pace.
It's good to know. I really like that feature of target pace because quite often I want to have an easy day because I might have had a long or a hard day before. So today was supposed to be 36 minutes easy. But as I was saying to Norman, I was really looking forward to recording this show for you guys today. It's going to be interesting. I've got some ideas of a title for this show. Excuse me. Hello. So that guy is a student. He lives on my street. I think he probably goes to UVic. Probably an African from Africa, not an African American or an African Canadian. Afro-Canadian, as they call themselves here. This episode's going to have some kind of nostalgic name to it. Maybe I'll call it the good old Douglas Creek Trail Run. Something along those lines. So Norma will be back on Monday night. That'll leave us 2 more weeks till Christmas. And this is my neighborhood, my cul-de-sac. It goes off to the right here, but that's just another short leg. My road is much like the shape of a hockey stick. Short and long. Pretty soon my phone will detect my router. Let's see
Average pace 7 minutes 39 seconds per kilometer. You're behind your target pace by 9 seconds per kilometer.
So, what can you... That's just because I walked the last 500 meters, basically. There's the buckets. I've got to fill these up with wood. Yep. And you're going to see the recorder now in my hand. If the camera is still rolling. It's probably stopped a while back, but still, I know I'm still recording audio. Put the recorder down on the log. This is going to be wood for the rest of the evening. It's only 11 o'clock now, if that. This one's too big. I like putting in some kindling in amongst the big pieces, just so that I have access to little thin strips of wood if I need them to restart a dying fire. But we're spoiled rotten for wood here. All that lot cost about $300 Canadian. 2 cords of wood. Hopefully the camera is still rolling. Mind you, it might have slipped inside my jacket on occasions. There it goes, good. Now I have to go back and get my recorder. I left it on the wood pile. So, as I approach the recorder, once again I'm thankful that I'm running the video. This is the Running Jackal. Signing off for today. Bye bye. Good. Now I switch off the camera.